There it is, champions. Norwich City have done the job. They are 2021 Championship champions.
We're back in the Premier League where we should be, and I can't wait to play in front of these fans again.
Do you feel at this stage the club goes back in a stronger position to be more competitive on the pitch maybe next season than obviously 2 seasons ago?
We're definitely in a much better prepared, a much better position next season.
We're going in with more resource this time. It's still more resource by our standards as opposed to by other standards. So we're going to be signing a £30 million striker? Definitely not. But will we spend more money? Yes.
Welcome to the Premier League.
So I think things conspired a bit where Norwich have got a bit of a bargain. I mean, to get him for, 25% of an Emi Buendia, 33% of an Emi Buendia. They're not identical players, but it's incredible business. It's a brilliant piece of business.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Pink and Channels. Connor Southwell here today to talk about Billy Gilmour, someone who knows him very well, Ricky Waddell.
I've got absolutely no doubt if he keeps injury free, he'll go and kick on and he'll add to the Norwich City team and help it progress for sure.
It's also important to be patient. If you would, like Stuart mentioned, would sit on unbelievable money anyhow, and it's also easy to spend it a bit earlier. Sometimes as a self-funding club you have to be patient a little bit and to wait a little bit longer, but in the end we'll definitely be competitive, and I have to say so I'm pretty happy with our planning so far.
Of course, it's always a bit disappointing when you lose the first game anyhow, and we are disappointed because of this. But I have to say so many positive things today, because we played today against one of the best sides in the world-class player, world-class coach.
You have to be in the game. You have to start a season. That's what we did today. I'm really happy about that, being having an away game against a freshly promoted team in the fully packed stadium for the first time. So they celebrate pretty much everything today.
Hello, welcome to this week's edition of the Pinkin.com Norwich City podcast, reviewing a 3-1 defeat to Watford at Carrow Road. Paddy, one word to sum up that afternoon?
I'll change my mind now. You said to us pick a word beforehand, DF, and the word I was thinking of doesn't sum it up. Booing. You were very clear it wasn't a must-win. You didn't want to package it as that. But did you understand at the end there were some fans obviously very frustrated that a team who came up out of the Championship and they've gone away with the win. Can you understand that frustration from some of the supporters, and what's your message to them tonight?
Yes, of course. So we are the same anyhow. We are also we are self-critical in this moment. It's also important to be self-critical. We're also not happy with our defensive behavior today in the scenes, and I think the supporters were excellent. So I want to fire them a little bit up in the press conference today, because we needed a really top atmosphere in the beginning of the game.
7-0 defeat here at Chelsea for Norwich. Grim, horrible, nightmare, club record equalling defeat.
Stuart, thanks for your time. It's Wednesday morning, post Chelsea defeat, just before ahead of the Leeds game. I'm sure we'll get into the Chelsea game and the season in general, but just to start, assess the state of play on and off the pitch so far this season, in your opinion.
I mean, let's be honest, the facts don't lie in terms of our points return. It's not been good enough, and I can't sit here and try and convince you or anyone else otherwise that the league table definitely doesn't lie.
We'll leave you with a bit of positivity. Norwich City haven't been beaten by Brentford at their home ground, Griffin Park, or this one, since 2009. Let's hope that record is still intact come the end of the afternoon.
Norwich City's wait for a Premier League win is finally over. That 20-game horrible run going all the way back to just before the pandemic broke out in March 2020. It all started at Bramall Lane, that horrible streak, only 2 draws in it. We all know the horrible stats. Let's not go back over them. It's over. They won 2-1 at Brentford, and a hugely revitalising result. But my word, did they have to battle and scrap and hang on to it.
We are there finally, so it was a long wait, if I'm honest. And yes, of course, after a tough start due to many reasons into this Premier League season, to have then the first win under your belt always feels great. It's great for the mood, for the confidence, for the self-belief. Also for the tableware, because everything is also a bit closer, and for that, the lads deserved also to have this winning feeling back in the dressing room. And yes, definitely a great day for us.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the depths of Brentford Stadium. 15 minutes ago, Norwich City confirmed that they've sacked Daniel Farke after what was a win here at Brentford, which I'm sure we'll get into. Just 2 hours ago, those players
It was a win, Conor. It was a win. Just double checking.
Definitely.
Kick the screen.
Just about 2 hours ago, Daniel Farke was orchestrating those famous waves that he's sort of come renowned for in the last 4 years. After he did his post-match media with yourself, Paddy, he was relieved of his duties along with 3 of his backroom staff: Eddie Reamer, Chris Domagala and Christopher John. All have left the club.
Look, this is football. It's a weird game, and it's unfolded in a weird way. I mean, certainly for us, it's going to be difficult now to go back to Brentford without memories of Saturday, I think, irrespective of the game or the situation in the future. So yeah, there's that aspect. I mean, yeah, I think it's really interesting, this kind of, they must have, it's an automatic assumption, isn't it? Well, they must have someone lined up. And for sure, they probably did their due diligence. If there's a few candidates that they're speaking to, then that naturally takes a bit of time, and the international break does afford them that. So,
welcome to Carrow Road. It's obviously a big day for a football club and the history of a club when they appoint a new head coach and a new manager. And we're absolutely delighted, and I'm absolutely delighted that Dean Smith and his assistant Craig Shakespeare have decided to join us on what will be the next part of this football club's journey. When we met with Dean, and Dean's someone I've known for a while now, it was very clear he shared the same values as a football club and wants to continue on the good work which has happened over the last few years.
I mean, Stuart reaffirmed that Frank Lampard wasn't offered the job then, and the logistics as well. He was asked about the timing of Daniel sacking and why it needed to be after the Brentford game, and he explained that logistically, because all the players would be scattering off basically from that night, that to give Daniel and the staff the opportunity to have that final meeting, that farewell, and get back to Colney as they did and say goodbye to each other, it needed to be then.
Yeah, I think his kind of philosophy, looking at it, is other clubs, Aston Villa and Brentford, it's always been on the front foot, hasn't it, mate? Always been kind of an attacking style. We've seen how good he's managed to get Jack Grealish over the years, and I'm sure Todd Cantwell, when he heard the appointment, was kind of licking his lips, wasn't he?
For the new era under Dean Smith and Craig Shakespeare, the SAS, as I called them in my column again this morning, and to be in with a chance of survival, I think you need to be pretty close to 20 points. Having 20 points by that point would obviously be fantastic, and you'd be well in with a shout of pushing on for survival then. But if they do want to make any changes in the January transfer window, they've got to be in touch with survival at that point.
Dean, hope you can hear me. Congratulations. Not a bad day, first day at the office, apart from the first 3 minutes or so. Is that how you dreamt it last night?
First 45 minutes, I'd have said, Paddy, to be honest. It was a tough first 45. They got off to a great start. And I was thinking back to 2 weeks earlier where they got off to a great start, against Aston Villa when I was there. But I thought we showed character in the second half. We adapted to the game plan as well, because we we never got close enough to their sixes in the first half.
It's going to be one for the hardcore, for the diehards, for those who are maybe slightly sadistic, because this is going to be a bit of a moan-up, I think. 5 straight defeats, 14 goals conceded, none scored. There is no doubt about it that unless something dramatic changes with Norwich City in the weeks ahead, then they are going to be going back to the Championship drawing board this summer.
Good afternoon, everybody. Big day for Norwich City. Probably a game that falls into a must-win category for them today, and we're going to dive straight into the team news. You can see Paddy Dammit is at Carrow Road.
Well, maybe Norwich City are not dead and buried. A 2-1 win here over Everton in a brilliant atmosphere, huge amount of relief, a real quite memorable occasion in the end as Norwich City move off the bottom of the Premier League table up to 18th, teeing up a huge game against Watford at Vicarage Road next weekend, next Friday night. What about that? A 3-0 win here at Vicarage Road. Norwich City are out of the relegation zone, and it's gone about as well as you could have hoped.
And today is a good day. Today is reflecting on Norwich 1-0 winners at Wolves in the FA Cup 4th round. You'll see over my shoulder, hopefully, their reward, if you can call it that, is a 5th round trip to either, must state either at this stage, Liverpool or Cardiff.
That's sort of an easy question about your future, isn't it? Because for you, all you can do is concentrate on keeping Norwich up. That's the big thing, isn't it?
Yeah, winning games. Just thinking about game for game.
Yeah, I mean that's never a good look to see Norwich as poor as they are there. I mean, all the metrics, the points tally, the goals for, lowest scorers home and away, and that underlines it. You can just, if you just focus in on that particular column, Brentford have scored 27 goals, Norwich have scored 15, Leeds 29, but obviously conceded 60, as you rightly said, Colin, very fresh after Bielsa's departed.
Good afternoon all. Welcome to Ellen Road, where the hope has all but died for Norwich City after a 2-1 defeat to Leeds, a painful one as well, packed with controversy, drama, injury time pain for Norwich in particular. And the corner just over my shoulder was where the Leeds players absolutely piled in, substitutes, fans. It seemed like everyone was in that corner.
I mean, my actual debut was, as you know, was Vitas Arnhem, only a few days before in the European Cup. So, my kind of entrance to the Norwich first team has probably been very different to Johnny's in terms of the timing and the success of the team. He's had to come into a team that's struggling. I think it's probably easier to come into a team that's been successful and doing well and things are flying.
We are back in the office a couple of hours after the full-time whistle to dissect not just on the game. We're also going to do a segment on that Stuart Webber interview. I'm sure the one that you'll know what I'm talking about, and also that Stuart Webber video. So plenty of Stuart Webber themed discussion to come in the second half of the show. My name's Connor Southwell, joined by Paddy Dowett and Adam Harvey.
Evening all, welcome to Villa Park. This was the place a few seasons ago where Norwich City were crowned champions of the Championship. It is now the place a couple of years later that their relegation from the Premier League has been confirmed. This is the earliest relegation in Norwich City's history. They've never been relegated at any point in any season since they formed in 1902. Before this point, with 4 games to go, the inevitable has been confirmed here today with a 2-0 defeat to Aston Villa, with of course Burnley beating Watford as well at Vicarage Road, and that means that Norwich City will be playing Championship football next season.
A torrid Premier League campaign, ultimately culminating in relegation this weekend, although it wasn't a defeat for Norwich City, and there's a feeling that there's probably going to be more support from North London for the Canaries next weekend than maybe from Norfolk, given their current situation. But we'll delve into that in just a moment.
Yesterday scored that big goal at Molineux that earned Norwich City a point. The 5-game losing streak is over. The 4 games of that goal is also over. And Timu Pukki is the man who regularly is on the goal scoring sheet for Norwich City, and he's finally matched Grant Holt's total of 78 goals.
It's done. It's over. Norwich City's 2021-22 Premier League campaign has concluded in parallel with how Norwich City season a couple of years ago ended with a 5-0 defeat. This time to Tottenham rather than Manchester City, and at Carrow Road rather than at the Etihad Stadium in front of nobody. But nonetheless, another painful day for Norwich City. Another painful day for Norwich City fans who were stood in these stands. A lot of them had left by the time the players embarked on their lap of thanks come the final whistle, which was quite a sorry sight, to be really frank and really brutal, but ultimately something that they needed to do, and they did do it. So credits to them for fronting it up and for doing it. But a very sorry sight. We'll bring you all the podcasts, and we'll bring you everything throughout the summer, be it transfers, be it anything else, be it pre-season friendlies. We'll do our best. I get the feeling it's going to be an interesting summer. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for persisting. Well done if you've travelled any miles this season to watch Norwich City, quite frankly. I'll salute you, and we're out. See you later.
We live Norwich City. The build-up.
The passion.
The drama.
The last-minute winners. The debate.
That's why we've created Pink & Plus,
The app that takes you beyond the headlines. With exclusive columns, blogs, podcasts and videos, we've got you covered. Subscribe today. Pink & Plus. Stay ahead of the game.